People love Shelton. I am not kidding when I say when I meet first-time home buyers that are coming from outside of the area, they fall in love with Shelton. And I'm going to tell you why. Hi, I'm Stacy Olson with the Valentini team at William Ravis Real Estate. And on my channel, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about living on the Connecticut shoreline. Today, I'm not really technically talking about the shoreline, but I am talking about a town that is directly north of Stratford, Connecticut, and that is Shelton. Shelton is a part of Fairfield County, Connecticut. It is due north, as I said earlier, of Stratford, and its eastern border is the Housatonic River. It has approximately 40,000 people that live there. But people love it because it has easy proximity to New York. It's only 70 miles, which makes it a drivable commute. And it has access to both Route 8, the Merritt Parkway, and Metro North stations, all within 15 minutes. But what people really love about Shelton is that you get more living space and lower property taxes. Houses in Shelton can really run the gamut though. You can have things from as low as like $200,000 to $300,000 all the way up to $800,000 to $1 million, just depending on where you're looking. As you drive around Shelton, you'll notice there are 4 distinct areas, and they all have their own unique personality. For example, the White Hills is more northern Shelton, and there you're going to see more open land, woods, and you're probably going to get a little bit more property and privacy with a home you purchase there. Homes there also tend to be a little larger. As you go through the industrial downtown area, you'll notice they've gone through a revitalization in the last, say, 15 years. And if you're living down there, you're really going to have close proximity to the Housatonic River, greenways, and parks. Huntington is another area. This is more historic homes. That's where the town green is. And it's more like a quaint little village all within Shelton. And the last area I'm going to call Bridgeport Ave because that's the main drag that goes through the middle of Shelton. This has grown in leaps and bounds since the early 2000s. There are tons of corporate parks, shopping, restaurants. I mean, that is where the hustle and bustle of Shelton really is these days. For part 1 of my Shelton series, I'm going to focus on 2 of these areas, the White Hills and the industrial downtown area. And I'm going to tell you all the great things there are about living in these areas. So one thing about the White Hills is that's where Jones family's farms are. This is this huge farm that attracts people from all over the state every year for several reasons. They have something called Pumpkin Seed Hill. So in the fall, when you're getting ready to go pumpkin picking, this is the place to go to. They have hay rides and little animals. They have so many pumpkins. You can walk through the pumpkin patches. There's constant entertainment, and it's really a great place to go with friends and family. They also have people coming far and wide for their Christmas trees. So in the winter, you can walk with your family up and down the hills of the farm and pick your own tree and cut it down. As a child, I did that several times with my family, and it was very memorable. And when the season's right, you can do strawberry and blueberry picking there with your friends and family. So that's always a nice option there. But aside from that, Jones also has a winery. It's in an old barn that they've converted, and they do tastings in there. And I've gone there myself before, and it's really nice. They have this restaurant there that's called Harvest Room, and they actually will let you bring in like cheese and crackers from Harvest Room while you're enjoying your tasting. And one other thing about Harvest Room, which is pretty cool, it's actually a cooking studio, and they have classes, so that's another option. So if you live in this area, I highly recommend that you check out Jones Family Farm. And right down the street from Jones is something called Beardsley's Cider Mill and Orchard. And again, you can't pass this up, especially in the fall. They have apples and peaches, local honey, but they also have pies and donuts and cookies and scones. And if you want, you can even pick your own apples there, which is always a fun activity. And another little secret about Beardsley is that recently they opened what they call the White Hills Distillery. Yeah, and that's right attached to the same building as the cider mill and orchard. And they have vodkas, they have brandies, they have bourbon barrels. It's definitely worth checking out. So as you're making your way from the White Hills down to the downtown area, you're going to pass by Indian Well State Park. Indian Well is a public recreation area that's about 150 acres right along the Housatonic River. So you can just imagine how beautiful it is. So not only do they have a waterfall and a splash pad and a sandy beach there that you can use in the summer, it also has access to the Baugussett State Forest Trails right across the street. So if you want to do some hiking, that is also an option for you while you're there. Also at Indian Wells is a boat launch. Because it's right on the Housatonic, you can actually launch your boat into the river and either just stay on the river, go up to Lake Zor, which is north, or take it all the way down to the Sound. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a beach, and they do have lifeguards on duty during the summer months when the park is open. So bring your bathing suit or your hiking shoes. You'll definitely find something to do at Indian Well. And right down the street from Indian Well is Riverview Park. Here they have a huge playground for kids, so it's great for families. And they also have 2 basketball courts and a baseball and softball field. And not to mention amazing views of the Housatonic River again. As you're making your way from the White Hills into the downtown area, you're going to see yet another park. It's called Veterans Memorial Park. And this is, again, right on the river, so it has beautiful views. It's a large open space that has a huge pavilion, and there's paved walking paths. And when the weather's right, they also have the farmers market down there. What's better than that? Some of the other great things that happen downtown is that they have a summer concert series. And they also have a carnival that is located right near the Veterans Memorial Park every summer. So it's definitely worth checking out. Another highlight of downtown is the Plum Memorial Library. Yes, it is a library, and everybody should go see the library, but this library is absolutely beautiful. It was built in the Romanesque style in 1895. And back in the 70s, it was actually labeled on the National Register of Historic Places. So it's definitely worth a look. So some great restaurants in Shelton that you should check out in the downtown area are Amici's, Bar 140, Porky's Cafe. And as you actually keep driving through downtown and you follow the river, you're going to hit a few more great restaurants. There's Carmine's, there's the Parker Eatery and Bar, the Riverdale Diner, and not to mention Donut Crazy. Come on, who doesn't want to have a donut once in a while? So another highlight of Shelton as you're driving along the river there is the CT Sports Center. I mean, this place has everything you could possibly imagine for entertainment. Let me just rattle off the list. And I had to write it down because there were so many things. There's ice skating, bowling, laser tag, paintball, golf, mini golf, batting cages, virtual reality. I mean, let me check my list. I feel like I'm forgetting something. An arcade. I mean, this place has everything you could ever want to have fun with friends and family. And they also have birthday parties there. So if you live in the area, you can have a birthday party there. I mean, I have fun when I go there, and I haven't been in a couple months, so we might have to go back again soon. So don't forget, next week I'm going to have part 2 of my series on Shelton. There's just so much to cover, I couldn't do it in one video. But if you still want to check out the local area, why don't you look at the Town Due South in Stratford? Because Stratford's got a lot going on too. And Stratford's right on the shore, so it has beaches. Highly recommend you check out this video.